Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Hundreds of people pack a library board meeting, raising their voices in the battle over whether to keep one book on the shelf. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Gill.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Karen Drew in for Devin Skillion tonight. Genderqueer was the most banned book in the U.S. last year.
Recently, the Lapeer County prosecutor suggested its presence on a local library shelf may violate the law. Jacqueline Francis was at tonight's meeting where the prosecutor spoke along with other community members.
They actually had to move the meeting here to the community center out of anticipation of how many people would show up. And it did not disappoint. For 3 hours, community members spoke during public comment, mostly defending the book's place in the library, while others sided with the prosecutor, saying it's inappropriate.
Let me be perfectly clear. I do not advocate banning books that involve LGBTQ content. That is not my position. However, books that encourage children to engage in sexual acts when they are not the legal age are not appropriate for a public library.
That's Lapeer County Prosecutor John Miller addressing the library board and the public after his office raised questions about Genderqueer, a book shelved in the adult section of the library's collection. The book, a popular pick among readers everywhere, receiving accolades and criticism, primarily for its few explicit illustrations depicting the author's sexual discovery. The library's executive director stands by the book, and so do others.
Genderqueer is not a salacious sex story. It's not 50 Shades of Grey, a book any American teenager can find and read. Genderqueer is an autobiography written to help young adults trying to figure out how to identify and how to fit in.
Because of books like this, I was able to feel comfortable with myself and my identity.
While others sided with the prosecutor, wanting to see the book banned.
If you will not get rid of these ungodly books and resign from your positions in the library as library director, then we, the people of this county, will make sure the library millage will never be renewed.
Whether the book stays or goes is ultimately up to the library director and the board. I'll also note that the book Genderqueer is currently checked out from their library, and there's a list of people waiting to read it. Reporting in Lapeer, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Clinton, thank you. After months of alleged awful conditions for teens housed at the Wayne County Juvenile Detention Facility, tonight the state of Michigan is stepping in after claims that a 12-year-old was sexually assaulted while in custody. Mara McDonald is live in Hamtramck tonight. And Mara, this is the latest in a very long list of problems at that facility.
Kimberly, that's right. I mean, it has been months of issues at the juvenile detention facility, whether it's here at the Dickerson facility or in its prior location. And who is responsible and the cause of all this? Well, it depends on who you talk to. Let me show you.
Just last month, a whistleblower at the juvenile detention facility wrote a letter to the Wayne County Circuit Court detailing multiple ongoing problems as a result of overcrowding and staff shortages. For example, 2 to 3 offenders being housed in one cell, leading to what the whistleblower calls tensions and inappropriate sexual activity. Now the county confirms the investigation is underway into the sexual assault of a 12-year-old boy in custody. Per Wayne County, we contacted the Michigan State Police, who are actively investigating these allegations. We are working alongside them to support their investigation and to better understand all the facts. 7 staffers at the JDF have now been suspended, but there's more. That same whistleblower detailed how those in custody are destroying cells, making overcrowding worse, and that violent offenders are allowed to roam around, putting staff at risk. The county, up to its ears in problems here, places the blame on the state. The JDF is overcrowded because there are too few treatment beds for juvenile offenders statewide. So you have kids sitting at the JDF waiting for placement. Tonight, in a statement, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says, in part, quote, while MDHHS does not own, operate, or contract with this facility, the department will continue to use its licensing authority to review the actions of the Wayne County Juvenile Detention Facility.
Back here live, MDHHS also confirming it has had staff on site here at the JDF since yesterday. We're live in Hamtramck tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara, thank you.
Well, the search is on right now for two people wanted in a shooting that killed one teen and injured another. It happened this afternoon outside of a home on Frankfort Street near the Chandler Park Golf Course. That's on the city's east side. Police say the two teens got into an argument with two others, which then escalated to gun violence, killing a 13-year-old and injuring a 17-year-old. The chief is calling on the community for help.
At the end of the day, we got a 13-year-old child that has been murdered in our city, and that should be a problem for everybody. And we need everyone that knows something about it to let us know so we can get to the bottom of it and make an arrest and get this violent person off the street.
Now, police do not have a good suspect description, but they believe they are looking for two teenagers. So if you have any information, please call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers, 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
The state today moved closer to passing what many consider history-making gun control bills in the wake of last month's shooting at MSU. The Michigan Senate passed an 11-bill package along party lines. It includes red flag laws, requirements for safe storage, and universal background checks. Republicans opposing red flag laws say they wouldn't have prevented the tragedy at Michigan State. The Democratic-led House may take up the legislation as early as next week. Governor Whitmer has said she'll sign it.
A Dearborn police officer will not be charged for shooting and killing a man inside a police station. Now, we want to warn you, the video you're about to see is disturbing. The footage was released today. It shows the moment a man walked in with a gun and then tried to shoot officers. Prosecutors say the man pulled out a gun within moments of walking into the Dearborn police station back in December. Now, the video shows him point it at an officer, then pull the trigger, but the gun did not fire. Police say the officer was behind a protective window that was bullet resistant, not bulletproof. That officer ran to get his gun and fired back, killing Naji. Prosecutors say Naji may have been in the middle of a mental health episode. Prosecutors say the officer acted in self-defense. No charges will be issued.
There's prison time ahead for a former Macomb County official in a long-running corruption case. Anthony Morocco was the county's public works commissioner from 1993 to 2016. The feds accused him in 2016 of extortion, saying Morocco's withheld permits from developers who refused to contribute to fundraisers for his campaign. Morocco pleaded guilty last fall to attempted extortion. His sentence is 3 months behind bars, plus at least 1 year under house arrest. He was also ordered to pay a $50,000 fine.
Signs of spring today. We had some warmer temperatures and precipitation that is not snow. So that's good, right?
It was nice, exactly. Nice to see. The rain continues, though, tonight. Brandon's in for Kim with the 4-1 forecast. Hi there, Brandon.
Ladies, it's still liquid with these temperatures. Upper 40s, 47 Canton, 47 Troy, it's 48 City Airport on the east side, 8 Celsius right now in Windsor. And here's a close-up look, exact track 4D radar, and the darker green is still some light to moderate rain through Hamtramck into the Grosse Points. But as we widen out the view, look at this, some holes, some gaps. We're going to fill some of those gaps as we look and just sort of reel in some of this wet weather from the southwest out of Illinois, Indiana. So it gets more organized as we head through the overnight hours, and some tricky travel for first thing St. Patrick's Day. More rounds of rain will lead to a slippery morning drive. Coming up, we're going to look at some dangerous cold coming in for Saturday with some snow, and this same storm dropping a foot of snow up north. Your Forewarn weather app is your greatest weapon and tool for, nuisance rain like we're seeing now to a big storm. We've got you covered. It is free. Just search WDIV in your app store, ladies.